will be an occasion to make concrete financial commitments towards our goals. Finally, the ministerial level meeting on the Summit of the Future will be the opportunity for delegations to make a robust push towards delivering life-changing action by 2030. All the pieces are in play for us to deliver transformational, accelerated progress. We should neither dither nor delay, as to do so would be at our own peril. As things stand, 680 million people, 8% of the global population, will still be facing hunger in 2030. Without a quantum leap in our commitments, without a radical transformation of our action, we risk sorely missing the mark on the promises we made to leave no one behind. There are specific objectives that demand an immediate and essential reinforcement of our efforts, including through the accelerating implementation of our Sustainable Development Agenda. This is particularly important for already disadvantaged and marginalized groups. Women and girls are systematically denied their most basic human rights, from education and employment to equal pay and land ownership. It is time to confront the epidemic of violence against women, a virulent hate whose shadow is cast over many communities. It is imperative that the multilateral system and its institutions be built for the advancement and success of women and men, not either or, not one or the other. And this means closing the gender gaps that have festered for far too long, to the detriment of far too many and to society itself. I therefore plan to continue working with the PGA Advisory Board on Gender, and my special envoy will have the dual role of also serving as special advisor on gender equality and women's empowerment. As a gender champion myself, I pledge to promote the high-level engagement and widespread awareness in gender-related events. As such, I will host another annual meeting of women leaders on the sidelines of the general debate. Ethnic, racial, sexual, and religious minorities, people with disabilities, indigenous people, and others are all vulnerable to intersectional forms of discrimination. The General Assembly must redouble its efforts to tackle the insidious spread of human rights violations and extremism in all their declinations, from hate speech to institutionalized discrimination. We must firmly repudiate any ideology that seeks to sow fear and division. We must instead lead the conversation on equality, equal rights, and non-discrimination as legitimate and imperative social norms that undergird strong, cohesive, productive societies. We set the standard, and this must start by including those voices who are too often unheard, by actively engaging young people, women, and marginalized groups whose inclusion will inevitably foster long-term peace, societal progress, and sustainability. Indeed, in the tradition of my predecessors, I intend to continue and indeed to expand the PGA Fellowship Program. Excellencies, this brings me to my final watchword, sustainability. We have heard time and time again the alarm regarding pollution, biodiversity loss, overexploitation of finite resources, and climate change. But have we truly taken heed? It is critical that we build sustainable societies that are in harmony with each other and with nature. It is the only way to ensure humanity and the planet's survival. COP28 will see the conclusion of the global stocktake on the Paris Agreement, underscoring key gaps in implementation. This is a critical moment for the world to come together and align behind faster, more equitable, and truly transformative climate action. The General Assembly's historic recognition of the newest human right, the right to a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment, reinforces its key role in protecting our global commons. With a population set to reach 9.5 billion by 2050, it is imperative that we transition to a mode of producing, consuming, and living that is respectful of and in equilibrium with all people, species, and ecosystems. Nowhere is this more evident than in our relationship with water. This common resource is fundamental to life on this planet, yet it remains inadequately conserved or prioritized. We need a green-blue revolution that addresses and indeed brings together concerns around water, climate, biodiversity, and land and soil degradation, and global food security. This is the only way to guarantee that the right to a clean and sustainable environment is upheld for all. I am confident that we can reach this ideal. The future we want requires a preemptive nurturing of nature, that we work proactively and purposively, not just responsibly. That we embrace bold, progressive, and visionary action that prioritizes long-term strategies to promote sustainable development for future generations, ensuring both their well-being and quality of life. Excellencies, colleagues, dear friends, it is easy to fill up an agenda for high-level week with many meetings and discussions. It is an entirely different thing to ensure that each of these gatherings culminates in a meaningful, transformative outcomes. That must be our modus operandi for the period ahead, and indeed for the entirety of this session. We must not let any moment nor any opportunity evade us. Let us push for and nurture peace, among other things, by empowering the most vulnerable. Let us deliver shared prosperity by unlocking the resources required for transformational results. Let us accelerate progress by capitalizing on the enablers of youth, innovation, and technology. And let us drive sustainability by recommitting to the principles and processes that help to guide our way. This session, I will commit to engaging in regional and other groups to collectively collaborate to bring to life a renewed atmosphere of global cooperation and shared commitments. My ambition is for the General Assembly to address the array of challenges it faces in the most effective and inclusive way possible. Thank you once more for your confidence and for your words of encouragement and support. I look forward with great anticipation to working collaboratively with all my colleagues and their delegations in addressing the several issues before us in the interests of all the people. I therefore call upon you all to approach our work with a true spirit of multilateralism, for problem solving, so that we can better protect, if not guarantee, the security and the dignity of humankind. Thank you.